Okay, today on 4.5C, we will be analyzing the information that we are given backwards. So continuing with our sine and cosine graphs. Let's say we are given y equals negative 5 sine of pi times x over 5. What does this mean for our period? What is our period? Remember, our period is always 2 pi divided by whatever. So in this case, whatever is multiplying x. So in this case, it's 2 pi divided by what we have in here is pi over 5. So it's being divided by pi over 5. Or in this case, you take that 5, bring it to the top. So it's 5 times 2 pi divided by pi. We can simplify the pi over pi to 1. So this becomes 5 times 2, which is 10. Our period is 10. What about the amplitude? Well, our amplitude here is just 5. Even though it's a negative 5, negative 5 is a reflection, not an amplitude. The amplitude is just an amount, and it's a positive amount. So in this case, our amplitude is just 5. Okay? Let's try another example. So let's say we have y equals negative 2/5 cosine of 14 pi x. All right. Our period here, we're going to take this 14 pi and divide that, 2 pi divided by that. So I'll divide by our 14 pi, which then if we simplify it, pi kind of cancel each other out, make 1. 2 over 14, that simplifies also to make 1 over 7. Our amplitude, I'm just going to call it amp. Our amplitude is what? 2/5? Just like that. Let's describe now. Let's describe some things. Okay, so what if we had an f of x equals the sine of 6x, and our g of x equals the sine of negative 6x? How can we describe from this to that, from f of x to g of x, what that is? Okay, so what we can say here that since this is a negative, it's going to be a reflection, whereas the negative in the front, right, in front of our amplitude is a reflection over the x-axis. This is a reflection over the y-axis. All right. And let's see what some of these graphs that before have multiplied by pi over something, what they should look like. So let's say we are given y equals sine of pi over x divided by 5. Before, I just divided x divided by that, and our intervals are between 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and so on. We went, our intervals are in radians. But now, our periods, right, our periods is, well, let's say here, 2 pi divided by 5 pi, pi divided by, which makes this 10. So our period is 10. Our original, little reminder of what original sign should look like. It should kind of look like this, right, in some ways. But now, since our period is pi, this is a period, so our units are going to be different. This is going to be 10 because our period is 10. This is one whole period. So then halfway through is going to be 5. So this is 0. This should be -5. And this should be -10. And so on. So this is how it would look like. Everything on the bottom is going to look the same. 1, -1, 2, and so on.